everyone, I'm Lynn and this is my YouTube channel No LARPing Matter, and this is Furby, who is making a guest appearance for now for some reason. So this channel is going to follow me through my LARP experiences as well as imparting to you guys my LARPy wisdom. Apparently I can be pretty wisdomous. Oh, goodbye. This technically isn't episode 1, this is kind of episode 0.5. It's just a bit of a short clip about event aftercare because I really wish that there was a buttload of stuff that someone had told me about coming back from an extended LARP event that would just help me out over the week or so post-experience. And it sort of, for me, falls into 3 bits. So logistics, your physical and your mental health, and then gameplay and mechanics in the game moving forward. So, logistics. Unpack your stuff and sort it out, okay? Do it straight away, so when you get home, immediately when you get home, I know that you're going to feel like hell and you won't want to do anything because you've just driven for hours and all you really want to do is pass out on any surface that is not an inflatable mattress or a cot and sleep for like a day. But trust me, you will thank me for putting in those hard yards the second you get home. Set up your tent and gazebo. If you've got the daylight to do that when you get back on the day of the event, do that. If you don't, do it the next day, first thing the next morning, so it just dries out and it's not all manky and growing things it shouldn't be growing next time you pull it out, because let's face it, you might pull that out next in 6 months to a year's time and by then it will be too late. So yeah, unpack your stuff, sort your stuff. Put your stuff away exactly where it should be. Again, limit the stuff, like this limits the stuff you've got to do the following day when you just want to chill, but it also means that your camp stuff and your LARP gear is exactly where it should be and right ready to go the next time you want to grab it. And like I said, that may not be for 6 months, that could be that next weekend, it could be in a year's time, but if you've made the effort to put it away, store it properly, dry it properly, take care of it properly, it's just going to be so much easier for you to grab a bucket, grab a tote tray, chuck it in the cart and then go again. And you're going to hate me for suggesting this, but after you've unpacked everything, after you've sorted everything, after you've put everything away, you're going to want to go to bed, but don't. Put on a load of washing up. You will feel better about not having to do it the next day. If you can stay awake long enough to chuck it in the dryer or put it on an airer, even better, because then you've got fresh, clean clothes to wear, and there is nothing worse than pulling out your kit after a week or two and it's been simmering in your own juices that entire time. It is gross and it is manky, and there's also nothing worse than trying to wash out crusty crockery and cutlery. So unpack it, wash it, clean it, put it away. You will thank me the next day. I know, right? Meow. So, next bit, physical and mental health. When you get home, eat something and drink something. You've probably not had the greatest diet while you've been camping. However, if you just went to our last weekender, the Crucible, and you were part of Archer's Food Fund, you will be fine because that was all super delicious and pretty healthy. But if not, it's really important you do have something decent to eat, and even for anyone, when you come back from an event, have something decent to eat because you've been stuck in a car for a while. Have some green stuff with your dinner as well, because that may have not been on the list of food things to eat while you were away, because let's face it, green stuff doesn't often stay as fresh as we would like it when we're camping. Make sure you drink something too, preferably water, something non-alcoholic, because you've probably, if you're over 18, you've been drinking probably some alcoholic beverages while you've been away, and then following that up with coffee the next morning. So drink some water, drink something with electrolytes in it, something to hydrate you, and you will feel a buttload better the next day. The next one, bathe. Please bathe when you get home. You will probably not want to, but I guarantee that you probably have not had a decent shower or even showered at all while you've been away, and you really do not want to flop into your bed a manky mess. You'll end up having to wash your sheets, change your sheets, dry your sheets, when you could have just had a shower and you would have felt better about it and not have to do all that extra work the next day. Wash your hair too, ladies and gents. Wash your hair because it will be full of dust and gunk and grime and grossness. Just bathe, be clean. Your personal hygiene will be mint. You will thank me, your partner will thank me, and your partner will thank you too. Also, I know this is going to sound really, really weird, but douche out your sinuses. So there are these things that you can get from chemists that help when you've got a sinus infection, but they're really, really useful for post-LARP stuff. One of my first quests fighting in the fort, it was a bit of a dust bowl, and our fort at our weekender was a bit of a dust bowl as well. And when I got home from quest, I blew black gunk out my nose for about 3 days and I had an epic sinus infection. So when I got home, I had a bath, I washed my hair, and I douched my sinuses. It's just a saline solution. Feels really, really weird, but also kind of cool. You feel a bit like a wizard that you can jam all this water up your nose and it just comes out the other side. But I haven't had any ill effects yet, touch wood. Knock on wood. So fingers crossed that it won't happen this time. Take any medications that you do need. Hopefully you remembered them while you were away. Hopefully you've got enough to last you the next day or until you can go get prescriptions filled again. Again, if you need to do that, go and do that as a matter of urgency. The next day, better. Make sure you take everything you should be taking. Address any injuries that you have if you've got it. My knees are so bruised from going out of action, mostly in that fort. And my muscles are tight and horrible. I'm getting a black eye and my jaw is bruising from a couple of hits to the face. Ice is your friend. Denka rub, deep heat, they're your friends. Hot baths are your friends. Heat packs are your friends. You will thank me in the morning, and so will your body when you're actually able to get up out of bed without screaming. Now, then we get to the fun bit. Get some sleep. If you have to get up early for work the day after you get back from an event, I'm really, really sorry. Go to bed as early as you can. Get up at your normal time. Go to work. Plow through the day. Have a coffee. Whatever you need to do to get through the day. Come home, go to bed early, and then keep going. Again, that will be nice and easy if you've packed up everything and you've put it away. If you are lucky enough that you don't need to go to work the next day, sleep as much as you can, but try and get back into a reasonable sleeping pattern. It will do your body clock no good if you sleep until 3 o'clock in the afternoon and then you're going to bed at 8 o'clock at night and then getting up at 6. So try and keep your sleeping pattern as similar as to your normal pattern as possible. It will help you in the long run, but you will need to catch up on some sleep, even though you never really can. I can guarantee you're going to be tired. I'm tired, and I've definitely been having the proper amount of sleep that I should be having. Now, bleed and post-event depression, they are both things, and they do hit us pretty hard. When you've come back from an event, you've just had 4 to 7 days of hanging out with mates, doing stuff that we love without the pressures of reality. And now, to quote Eminem, snap back to reality. And we don't have those people, we're not doing those things anymore, and we do start to feel down. There is a real sense of loss when you wake up the morning after an event, and it's depressing. I really, really miss waking up in my tent and there's no Amy there anymore bringing me a coffee in bed. Now I just have cats pouring me in the face, demanding me to feed them. It's depressing, and I have to make my own coffee. So post-event depression is a thing, and there will probably have been some emotional stuff that happened to your character. That's okay. I do have an article on bleed that I've posted on my LARP group, Cicadia's Facebook group, but I'll post it on my Facebook page as well. It's got some good tips to manage bleed there, and it does go into some detail about what bleed is and the different types of bleed, but just some quick tips for you right now. Number 1, debrief with your friends about your experiences, both the good and the bad. Talking about them can help you process them if you need to. Tip number 2, make sure you refer to your character and everyone else's characters in the third person. You and your character are 2 different people. If someone sits there and says things like, oh yeah, I sat there and I tortured this person and I cut their fingers off and then they cut my fingers off and pulled my hair out and shaved my beard. Well, no, they didn't. Their character did those things to your character, and you've probably still got a beard, because I've never met anybody who's been willing to shave off their beard for a role play. Prove me wrong, guys, or girls, prove me wrong, but just saying, I don't think I know anyone with a beard who'd be willing to shave it for a role play. Again, I could be wrong. Hit me up in the comments or send me a message if I am, and that might be a fun thing to film and put up on my page. You never know. But yes, you and your character are two very, very different people. The things that are said in character about your character are said about your character, not about you. So you need to manage that. And you know what? If you can't manage that and you're getting some bleed and you're feeling really out, like if Lynn was feeling bad about something that someone said about Gideon, I would take that as a big sign that I need to take a step back from LARP for a little bit and roleplay until I could work through that and manage that. So yeah, take a break from roleplay if you need to, even if it's a day, if it's a week, whatever you need. At the end of the day, while we might get emotionally invested in our characters and the events that happen for whatever reason, it is just a game and it is meant to be fun and it's not meant to be traumatic, and there's nothing that should happen to you in game that should be so traumatic that you can't separate that from happening from your character versus you. So if you are getting to a point where you really are struggling to deal with something that happened in character, you definitely need to make sure you're debriefing, make sure you're seeking help and chatting with people that you need to, if that is professional help because of ongoing mental health issues. By all means, I would encourage you to go and seek that, but at the bare minimum, chat to your friends and actually take a break from roleplay for a while, because sometimes a break is just all that is needed so you can realign your brain into separating in character from out of character. So take whatever time you need there. And again, if you want any more tips about managing your bleed, you can have a look at the article that I posted, and I will post up on my page for you. It's called The B Word. So now the final thing, game changes and mechanics. After a weekender, I know from an administrative perspective, it's a chance for us to sort of look at how things have worked, how things didn't work, and any changes that we may need to make. But what we also see is a wide range of characters that are affected by the things that happened while the characters were away. So your characters are going to be affected, and the characters that didn't get to come for whatever reason, I see, or out of character, you're going to need to understand that characters are affected. So those of you who could not make it to our weekender will need to understand that there's going to be stuff that's happened at the weekend that the characters are going to talk about, the characters that went, and there's going to be stuff that you're going to have no idea about. Those of you who did go, you need to make sure that you are being inclusive of your friends and the people in your factions and stuff who didn't make it. Tell them in character what happened. You know, out of character and in character, be considerate of making a buttload of inside jokes that will exclude people. Make sure that you involve them in the fallout from the event and further plans. So small gestures mean a lot, even if it's just a simple, you know, this thing happened while we were in the inner weft, which created this situation. What do you think we should do, friend who didn't make it to the event? That will make people feel really good about themselves and feel like that they can still have an impact and contribute even though they couldn't make it to the weekender. And it makes them feel good about themselves and they have a better experience, which is really what we're all here for, which is a good time. From a gameplay perspective, rules may change. It may be immediately, or it may be 6 months from now, it may be a year from now, but an extended game gives us some time to observe rules and reassess things and make changes based on observations, player feedback, or our own brand new ideas. I mean, there are so many situations that I witnessed over the weekend that I just went, oh, I want to do a thing. And I probably will do the thing. But the admins need to get together, talk about it, and make those changes. And the changes won't be implemented immediately. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they'll wait till the next rules release, which for us may not be till next year. That's everything I can think of for now. If you've got any questions, feel free to message me on the Facebook page, No LARPing Matter, that's no LARPing matter, or just throw up a comment on the comments down there somewhere. I'm assuming that's how it works, and I can address it below. I can address it on my page or in a later episode. Speaking of, my first full episode will be out before the end of the month, which should be just in time for Halloween. In the meantime, I have chucked in some previews of some of the outtakes and some of the shenanigans that we did get up to from part 1 of my filming of the first episode. Still have a bit more filming to do, so you might get some more shenanigans after the 20th of October, which is our next Cicadia game, which is where I'm going to be filming the rest. So thank you for watching, everybody, and remember, don't forget rule number 1.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Try
my best.
Mate.
Well, we don't always succeed,
no.
okay?
What?
No, you're right.
It's a big part of our life, but
Can you just say that again now that I'm looking at your face? I was just panning your armor because it's sick.
So you're gonna have to cut and then go again?
Yeah, I'll put something.
Why do we laugh? Not to bloody sit down, obviously. Because
Obviously.
this shit's just hard.
I'm filming all of this. Look at your pretty dress.
My pretty dress.
No, don't call
Nice
me
compliment.
that.
Nice.
Okay, alright. Oh, look at you, all adorable and stuff.
Take 2. Take 2. Is it for
Big David. Okay, you need to put your sword out of the way.